All right. So, again, my name is Susan Avila. I've been a coach for about 3 years now. And the reason why I joined Optavia was because I came in as a client and I was looking to lose a few pounds after I had my last baby. And I was thrilled with the results. I lost 12 pounds in 3 weeks. And ever since, I fell in love with everything that surrounds this program, from the personal development and growth, to the community, to the health, always leading with that, and also with the financial blessing that this has brought to my life as well. So this call is for everyone, everyone who wants more in life. You're feeling stuck, or like you're looking for something more. This is the right place. Sometimes we just need to get a little more excited about ourselves, and just being ourselves. And so, yeah, sometimes we tend to forget about us. And I think sometimes, that's where it all begins, right? So, um, working on these books is actually a very crucial part of our program, because this is where we learn to create those habits. Anyone can go on a diet and lose the weight, so, but this is not about that. It's about creating longevity, healthy habits that we can sustain for the rest of our lives. And so that is exactly what we're going to be talking about, and what we're going to be diving into. So if you can join me on page 422, we're going to be talking about element 22, which is the question of, do you need to supplement? And so what does that really mean? Um, we made a choice to start, working on our health, to find well-being and that optimal, point where we can feel, content and happy with our lives, right? And so we can give out more, whatever your reason may be. But we have to know that there are more tools that we can add to our, to our journey, that can help us, continue to move in that direction. So if we look at, there's a diagram on page 423. And so if you all have your book, if not, it looks kind of like this. So at the top, we have, optimal health, which is pretty consistent throughout, from, there's always a moment where we've been in our optimal health. And then, that can be sustained for life, right? So from the moment that, where you started till, we in our elder years. And then there's a curve that goes down, from optimal health, and you see that it starts kind of deteriorating. And so there are two phases that are described in this diagram. The first phase is a phase of non-sick, which is leading in the path of disease. And basically what this is telling us is that, every day we are bombarded with, what Dr. A calls insults and attacks of our obesogenic world, right? And so we're making choices every day about where do we want to be. Um, in this phase of non-sick, we are experiencing perhaps being overweight. We have a poor diet. We're in a state of, weak muscles. We can't sleep. We have stress. We're not staying active. We have a higher state of inflammation, which is the topic that Yadira and Charles talked about last week, um, which over time, it leads to a deterioration of our health. And so sometimes, actually, a lot of times, people try to fix these, aches and pains with medications. And really, what happens is, yes, the medications may help for a little while, but you know that is not really bringing health to you. So even though we may feel good momentarily, in the long term, it's only creating a circle of like a vice of, trying to fix everything with medications. Um, so that's where we go into this other phase of, optimal health. And basically, we're trying to, like I said, we made a choice to start working on our health. And in order for us to reach and stay at that point, we have to continue to adjust not only to our environment, but also to our age, to every year that, a year goes by and our bodies mature. We have to find, okay, what are the things that are helping us? What are some things we need to change to continue to enjoy that optimal health? So, needless to say, optimal health is not static. We have to keep in the action. So I'm not the same now that I was when I was 20, and I won't be the same when I get to the age of 80. Um, so it requires for us to be alert and always looking out, in constant making constant adjustments to, the changes that we're experiencing. So it's any day is a good time to start looking at where you at, what are your needs that your body has, to help you learn and adapt to follow that plan to continue in the future. So I'm going to read a little bit here, a paragraph on page 424 under the medications versus nutritional supplementation. And it says, for the first time in history, 55% of all insured Americans take prescription medications regularly for chronic illnesses such as high blood pressure, cholesterol, problems that are often linked with heart disease, obesity, and diabetes. And on average, a lot of these people are taking 4 medications, which to some people may not seem like a lot. For some people may seem like it is too much. So those are the kind of people that are tracking on that red line, so that curve, finding that path to disease. So now, we talk about this other tool, which is to supplement with nutrients. So nutrients are something that, we already have in our bodies. And, by taking or supplementing what we already have, it helps us optimize the foods that we are consuming. So while, medications are an outside component and that work temporarily, nutrients, like I said, are already in our systems. And, by us taking these supplements, it will, if we take them in the right amounts, it will help us reach as a point where, you continue to feel good and stay in that optimal health. Um, so with that, there's definitely a lot of vitamins, minerals, and other, critical nutrients that, can enhance vitality. They are great facilitators to our health, um, but it may take a little bit more for them to show up uh, or to see that effect. However, they're, like I said, present in our bodies, and they're not harmful. They are a safe route when it comes to, helping on your health journey. So there's an exercise here in the book, in the life book. And so this is, if you don't have your book yet, this is the life book. And that's where I'm kind of guiding myself from. So there's an exercise that talks about, what supplementation should I have? So what type of vitamins should I take? How much? What's the right amount for me? Can I get enough of this type of fiber? And so there's a recommendation here to, if you haven't already, read part 2.15 of the Habits of Health book, this book, which is the companion to our life book. And so in there, you will get, a little bit more information, and you can make an educated guess as to what type of vitamins it's like a personal or a self analysis of where you're at. If you're taking supplements already, where are you at? And it goes, like in different parts, like fish oils. Are you taking a multivitamin? What type of fiber are you consuming? And then based on your responses, you can create a target plan for yourself. Um, Once you have identified, if any, deficiencies in what you're doing right now. And so, that way you have an idea of what you can do moving forward, or when you get to this part, in your journey, you can start kind of incorporating this into your, habits of health routine. Um, there are also some general guidelines that are also part in that Habits of Health book. We're not going to do it here because I feel like it's a lot, but there are 8 steps that you can look at and dive into each one, and that can be part of your exercise as you work through this element. So, for example, step 1 is adding fish oil, and so this, it tells you a little bit about making one of these, so how to incorporate this fish oil. And it tells you, okay, so following a part of your routine, we can eat 4 ounces of fatty fish 3 times a week, or 3 to 6 walnuts a day. So you start seeing like, how can you take in these extra vitamins? It doesn't necessarily have to be like a pill or something like that, but it could be through your food. Maybe add a little bit more, this vegetable or this protein to kind of help you meet your goals. So I encourage you all to work on these steps. Um, and that is all I have, James. So thank you so much for allowing me to share. And we want to open it up for questions. I'll turn it over to James. And thank you for the opportunity.
Yes, thank you, Susan, for so gracefully and wonderfully sharing, talking about the element. So at this point, what we're going to do is we're actually going to open it up to for discussion to you guys, because we would love to hear. The whole point of this call is to really, so we as clients, everyone on here is either a client or a coach, or we even have some guests on here that's not a client or a coach. But the whole point of this is for us to come together so that as a community, we can encourage each other, we can build each other up, we can talk on how this element is affecting our own lives, and how we can apply it into our own lives. So at this time, we'll just do that. We'll just open it up. I see Ricky already has her hand up. I like that. You know, we're in school, you got that student, first one to put their hands up. Ricky's the one. Let's go. Very cool. Ricky, yeah, go ahead, please come off mute and
Okay.
just share with us a little bit about either this element and how you want to apply it to your life, or something you got out of this element.
Okay, mine was a question in regard to being on the 5-in-1. Uh, is it necessary to supplement, since it covers like 100% of the vitamins and minerals that we use each day, that we need each day?
Yeah, that is a great question. Susan, you want to answer that one? You want me to take it?
Um, I think I want you to take it.
Very
Well, I
cool.
was gonna say, that maybe, this is more for, maintenance, because yes, you're right. In our fuelings, we do receive a lot of the protein and the vitamins that we need to sustain our bodies through that weight loss journey. And so that was my first thought, James, but I'm not sure if you got, something else.
Yeah, so I'll just add to that, but that is true. So because all of your nutrients and vitamins that our body needs, when Dr. Anderson and Optavia created this program and these fuelings, we have all the nutrients, vitamins, and minerals that our body needs to sustain us throughout the day. So taking extra vitamins is not necessary, unless if you have a doctor's prescription that your doctor wants you on an additional, vitamin for some reason, then of course you would continue taking it. But if you're just taking multivitamins because you're deficient in multivitamins, On the 5-in-1 program, you don't need them because all of your nutrients and vitamins are packed inside the fuel-ins for you. Yep, great question. Anyone else have any questions or just any points from this element that they would love to talk about or share how they're applying it into their life? Go ahead, Carol.
Okay, I was just gonna
Yeah.
say that I'm really excited about this because in general, people tell you you need to get a vitamin, right? I don't know anything about that. So you just kind of trust whatever you go to the store, you look on the the drugstore and you look at what's available, Nature's Bounty or whatever the brands are, and you just pick one and you go with it. What's really exciting about this particular element is that it's really educational to help you to be able to make a really good educated decision on what you need to do and why, you know, because we don't know. I mean, you just don't. So I really appreciated it. Also, I always see the omega-3s. Now, I'm probably everybody else is really into this and they're all up on it and this is no big deal. But to me, it was a big deal. So, for example, when you see the omega-3s and you hear people talk about it, I had no idea why I would need to get that. I'm supposed to be taking a B complex. I have to do that. And I'm supposed to be taking a multivitamin prescribed by my doctor. But now I understand more clearly about, like, for example, the fish oil and the fact that if I were to make it my habit of 3 to 4 servings of fish per week, then I'm doing a good thing. I'm already getting that in. So I don't really need to go to the store and buy that, so you don't feel like you have to spend that extra money because now I understand. So I think this is really awesome that we have all of this information available to us because I just would never have known. So I'm excited about that. I'm excited to share it with my clients.
Mhm.
Yeah, very nice. I love that. Thanks for sharing that. It's so true. We have abundance of information. Everything you need to know about health, you're going to learn here. It's interesting. I'll just kind of share this. I was just on with another coach, and we were doing a health assessment, and we were talking to a chef, a culinary chef who teaches. He's an educator, and it was just amazing to hear one of his when we were talking about his why and what he wanted to learn how to eat healthy, wanted to learn how to make healthy meals. And you would just think, and I was kind of blown away. I was shocked because you would think that as a chef, someone who's also an educator, know these things. And it's just amazing that so many people still need this information and still need help with that. And it's so much more than just a diet or weight loss, but it's teaching us how to create optimal health and with different supplements and different things like that. So I love that. Very, very nice, Carol. Thanks for sharing. Anyone else? We have about another 6 minutes before we jump into our next call. Anyone else want to come off mute and share? Go ahead, Josephine, and then we'll
Um,
get
I,
you we'll get you Yvonne.
yeah, I think the commentator did an excellent job in the coverage that she did and the various comments that was stated. And on page 424 at the very top, it was, as the commentator said, that optimal health isn't static. So it's an individual thing, and it's really encouraging because it helps you to know that as you go through life circumstances and your body and everything is going to change. So you yourself need to do the adjustment. And I think it was Carol that mentioned that her doctor recommended that she take certain things, and that is the key to, when you go to your physical, you could check with your doctor. And I just recently had my physical, but after I read this, I'm not a pill taker. I don't take any pills. So it didn't resonate with me. It's like, oh, I'm just not going to take these no pills. But there again, it's good to know that we do need some supplement. Either you could take it in food or either you could take it through pills. And so since I just recently had some blood work done and everything is good, I'm going to say tomorrow I was going to call my physician and leave a message to say, what does she recommend? Do I need to take any vitamins? And so that is a key thing too, that you check with your physician to see what you're liking. But overall, I think the coverage of the material was nicely done today. And it's something, even though we don't need it, to look into. And there's a lot of different things out on the market, like probiotics and prebiotics, and that on page number 427. I like to be a little bit more knowledgeable about it, because you got a lot of medical professions saying that you should take supplements, you could do this, you could do that. But from this particular chapter, it seems that you yourself need to be cognizant of what you need versus talking about what the industry needs. So it was quite informative.
Very nice. Love it. Thank you. Yvonne, I think you had something you wanted to share.
More like a question. I just wanted to make sure I got it right. I'm very new. I'm just on my 4th day of fueling. And so I think she said it, but I just want to make sure. This element 21, I don't have to worry about that until I get to that point? Or how do, the feelings that I'm taking now is enough that I'm doing now?
That is correct. Yep. You're getting all your nutrients and vitamins that your body needs on the, are you on the 5-in-1 plan?
Yes.
Yep. So then you're
Yes.
getting all the nutrients and your vitamin needs. All the vitamins and nutrients that your body needs. This is more for once you've reached your goal and we transition you off of the fuelings and into everyday food, different types of fruits, vegetables, complex carbs. Then as you're going over this, and your coach will guide you through. And of course, as Josephine mentioned, talking to your doctor about different supplements that you might need as well.
Okay.
Yeah,
Thank you.
but for now, you're doing great. You're on day 4. As we all know, day 4 is that fat burning day. The energy's up. We start feeling good. From here on out, Yvonne, that weight's going to start dropping. So excited for you.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Keep going. Very cool. Anyone else? We got about 2 minutes. If no one has any questions about the element, what we could do in these last 2-3 minutes is, does anybody have any victories or wins in their journey, their health journey, their that they would love to share or talk about? We don't have a lot of time, so if you do, keep it down to 30 seconds to a minute. But anything in your journey or your health that you would love to talk about or share, any wins or something we can celebrate. Go ahead, Joyce.
Okay, so I'm on my 3rd week, and even though it doesn't feel like it all the time, I can see it in my numbers. I went out and bought a scale. I was like really against that, because I thought, it's something that discouraged me before, but I'm staying close to my schedule, and it's coming off. So that's all. And I do feel okay. I'm not feeling bad or anything like that. I'm good. And I've been taking my regular walks. So yeah.
Very nice. Congrats. Yeah. Great. Love it. Shirley, did you have something? You have some we can celebrate?
She was Shirley's my mom.
Oh, okay, nice.
She and I, we both started today. And
very nice. Okay. Day 1?
Day one. And actually my day went better than I anticipated. So I'm looking forward to tomorrow.
Very nice.
And I have 2 great coaches over there. I see Carol and Ricky.
Oh, they're amazing. I love Carol and Ricky. Go ahead, Barbara.
Okay, so I thought I wasn't losing any pounds, but maybe I was weighing in differently. But it's not about the weight. It's actually about I went shopping, and I used to wear I used to wear extra large, then a large, but I think I was a large when I started the program. Anyway, I knew that that was too big. So when I went to the store to buy a pair of pants, I said, well, I'll get a medium because I know I'm going to get a medium. And I got home and tried it on and they were too big. And I said, what is going on? So anyway, I told my coach about it. I'm like, I went and got a size medium pair of pants. I got to take these back. And I got to go get a small. So I went back to Matchworks at Costco's. I went there today and I looked at it. I was like, okay, the medium was too big. And I'm like, I looked at the medium, but then I feel myself shrinking in areas where I wasn't before. So I'm like, okay, well, let's try this on. And I haven't tried it on yet. But anyway, I went from a medium to a small and pants. And they are stretch pants though. And even my jogging pants that I bought, they was starting to fall off. So I was just telling my coach that obviously I'm losing more inches than I am pounds because my clothes are feeling different and they're not fitting like they used to. So if you got jogging pants, or you want them to fit right? You don't want to be walking around with some baggy pants on, that you're supposed to be. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm doing something right. So anyway, that's my quick journey right there.
Nice. I love it. Very cool. You guys, let's give it up and celebrate all the wins this week. And that's going to keep happening. That's what I love about what we do in this program is that there's a lot of wins, a lot of victories, a lot of things we can celebrate. So as clients, what I would encourage you is call your coach or anytime you have a victory or a win or something that makes you feel good, and it can be anything, text your coach and let them know. Or pick up the phone and call them and let them know. If they don't answer, just leave a voicemail. And it can be, even if you got in 70 ounces of water, call your coach if that's a win, if that's a victory. One of the things I've learned is that it's very, very important is to focus and celebrate all of the small wins, all of the small victories along this journey. And it's amazing that you have someone on this journey every step of the way to celebrate those wins with you. So thank you guys all for tuning in into our client team, our client habits of health call where we review the element. We will be back on next week and we're going to go over element 22, which is all about, let's see, anybody knows? Creating optimal well-being, which is a great subject. So looking forward to that. And so now at this time, we're going to transition into our coaching team huddle. And again, everybody is welcome as clients, as guests. You're more than welcome to stay on. What we do every week as coaches, we all meet together to kind of discuss how we can, how can we improve as coaches? How can we improve our business? How can we become better support? How can we become better leaders? How do we grow our business? And so now we're going to kind of transition into our coaching team huddle. And today we have a very important topic and discussion we're going to be discussing and talking about. So super excited for that. I'm going to have some coaches that are killing it. They are doing amazing and they're going to come on and give you guys some amazing tips and suggestions on what they're doing. So if you guys don't already, pull out a pen and paper, especially you coaches, pull out a pen and paper because we're going to have a few people that's going to come on. And these are ones that are actually doing the work. They're doing the work. They're getting results. And because of that, I asked them to come on and share and talk and share with all of us exactly what are they doing, what are the steps they're doing, and how are they so successful in a short amount of time. So if you haven't already, pull out a pen and paper, take some notes because they will be dropping some bombs. They're going to be dropping some nuggets. And if you're not doing these things, you want to write these things down so that you can start implementing them into your business. So we're going to be talking about social media, all things social media. But really when it comes to building our business as coaches, and I know we talk about this a lot because this is probably, it's really only three things that we really, really want to get really, really good and focus on when it comes to building our business. And that's going to be, or not only we just building our business, but when a coach is not where they want to be, or they're not as successful as they want to be, it's usually these three things. And it's their mindset. They don't have such a great mindset. It could be their skill set, and they're not yet skilled. And we know, how do we get good at any skill? It's just practice. And the third thing is action. They're not in action. They're not actually doing the work. You can have amazing skills. You can be, and I see this all the time where coaches, they're very, very good at the skill set. They get on every single training. They're watching all of the trainings. They if they miss it, they watch the playbacks, and they have all the skill set. They have all the head knowledge, but they do not do the action. They don't do the work. And it's kind of pointless. You can know everything, but if you don't have the wisdom to apply the knowledge, then you're not going to get anywhere. Nothing's going to happen. So that's what we're going to talk about today, is really those three things. So as you hear these coaches talk, listen to those three areas on how they are working through skill set. You're going to hear a lot of skills that they're doing. You're going to hear a lot of mindset, and how even though they may not feel like doing it, or they might be afraid to do it, they do it anyways. And then action is really just action. So first I'm going to bring on is Tamara. Many of you guys know her. She is crushing it. She is killing it. Been a coach for 6-7 weeks, and is already supporting many clients. She's doing great. One of the things I have to say about Tamara is she is extremely coachable. Tamara is definitely a breath of fresh air, and is extremely coachable, and she is killing it because she's just so coachable. So she's going to come on and share with you guys some tips on social media, and how she's in a short amount of time is crushing and doing so well. Go ahead, Tamara.
All right. Hi, everyone. Yes, I'm going to talk about some tips in regards to acquiring clients, as well as just referrals. So based off James, yes, I'm coachable. He tells me what I need to do, and I just like, all right, let's just get it done. So that's what I've been doing. So in regards to social media, that's like our biggest platform to get ones who's actually looking for us. I felt like that's the best way I've been getting my clients, is through referrals and things of that nature. So the steps that I go through, the first step is what I do. I actually make a list of individuals who are like my biggest fans, like my biggest supporters. Normally it's like my close friends, or ones who's like into health like me, into like outdoor activities. So I make this list of individuals, and what I do, I go right ahead and create like a message that I want to send to them, which kind of goes like this, like, hi, my name's Tamara, which some of them already know, of course, but I just like, oh, okay, is it okay if I send you my story as well as my transformation photo? Will it be okay if you post it on your Facebook page? Will you be okay to do that? And a lot of times, since they're my friends, or, ones who want to support me, they're like, yeah, sure, send it. I'll post it. And I'm like, okay, perfect. Like, can you go right ahead and tag me as well? And if anybody asks you any questions, don't even have to worry about explaining anything. Because I know a lot of times people don't want to post things because they don't want to explain it. So I'm like, you don't have to explain it, just refer them to me. So what happens is, the second step is that I start monitoring that post. So once they post it, I'm monitoring for people who like it, as well as for those people who just saying like, congratulations, like, that's awesome, like, very good, Tamara. They don't even know me. And what I do, the third step is I immediately friend all of them. I go to the ones who comment, friend, the ones who like, friend. And then I immediately go into their inbox saying, thank you for your support. Thank you for your support. Hey, my name is Tamara Bryant. I'm a health coach. I'm looking to help other individuals who's looking to, get healthy, learn healthy habits, lose weight, even for those who want to gain weight. And, just looking for a healthier means of creating meals. And I say, if you know of anyone like that, hey, send them my way. So a lot of times with that, I get ones who maybe don't respond, which is fine. And I get some that say, oh, sure, I'll definitely refer them over. And a lot of time what I've been getting is individuals who say, hey, I want to lose weight. What's that program are you doing? And that's pretty awesome. And that's how I ended up getting to the fourth step, where I respond to them saying, hey, are you asking for yourself or someone else? Because that's an important question. Because a lot of times they could be asking for maybe their mom or a brother or sister. And a lot of times they'd be like, no, I'm asking for myself. So that's when I immediately just like, oh, well, there's plenty of, programs available. You know what? How about what's your availability this week? Let's jump on a call. We'd love to hear your goals, find out what you're trying to do and tell you more about the program. And then boom, I have a health assessment. And that's how I've been doing it in regards to social media. And it's been working so far. And it's like just creating natural conversations. And I think that's very key. And then it's also key because I know they're looking for me. And the next thing in regards to exploring like coach calls, like looking for ones who may be interested in doing what I'm doing. So it's the same way. I create a list. And what I do, I create a list of ones who I feel like are like-minded, meaning like they're into business, they're business-minded, they're into health. Maybe they're like social worker, doctors, anything, or they're just people friendly. Their energy is just really good. So what I did is made a list of individuals that just immediately came to my mind, maybe like a list of 10 people. And then what I did was what is called, which is I plus Q equals A, which is I identify the ones who had different things about them that will make them excellent coaches. And then I immediately qualify them, where I wrote down different things about them. Either I put down like they're super, friendly, they're approachable, or they care about health, they're motivated. And after that, I just approached them. I either sent them a text message saying like, hey, I really think that, this coaching business, you'll be an amazing coach. And this is why. You're so motivational. You attract people, you're natural, you're extroverted, you love to help others. And then I immediately just say, hey, are you interested in exploring this more? And I literally did that, just putting it out there. And I got so many different responses like, yes, like, tell me more. Like, I'm really interested in that. Like another opportunity. I need more money. So it's like a lot of times, you may think not to approach them, but it's good to approach everyone because you don't know like what somebody needs. It could be just that extra money to help pay their car note. It could be anything. It just could be that they never heard about the company and they just love our mission. So that's what's been happening. So I actually had my first official Explore call, which was yesterday with James, and it was pretty amazing. It went pretty well. So that's how I go about doing the Explore calls, and it has worked so far. And then the last thing I want to like touch bases on is just your mindset. I know starting this whole business, I have fears, but James wasn't trying to hear the excuses. And I worked through the fears, and I know one of them, I remember the first time when I just started coaching, he was like, you write out your heart list, ones you really want to help. And, my mom is one of them. She's right there in the corner. Hi, Mom, Barbara. So it's like, I wrote out different ones I want to really help. But then James was like, okay, what are some other people you want to help? Or, kind of like write that fear list, the ones you don't want to approach. And I was like, what? I was like, I don't know nobody. He's like, yes, you do. And I did. I just didn't want to send them anything. So I wrote out a list and James was like, okay, well, you need to send a message to them right now. And I'm like, what? So like, I went past that fear and I had to like shut down the negative chatter that was happening because I had a lot of that. And my fear, once I started identifying it, it was rejection. So I realized my fear is rejection. So now in my mind, I'm like, who cares if they don't say nothing to me, right? Who cares if they put down what I'm doing? Like, just keep doing it. So far it's been working. I made it to manager last month. My goal is to be executive director, and I'm going to do it. And James is going to help me, and I'm just going to follow his steps and get it done. That's it. Thank you for your time.
My goodness. You guys see what I'm talking about? Tamara is crushing it. She's killing it. Thank you, Tamara, for sharing all of those tips and nuggets. I hope you guys were catching those and paying attention, because she pretty much just showed you in what, 10 minutes? She just explained to you how to acquire as many clients as you want and as many coaches as you want. And in a short amount of time, she just explained exactly the steps on what she's doing, and it's working, and how she's doing it. One thing I will just kind of throw out there, if you guys noticed, she said it probably about 4 times, is she says, I make a list. I made a list. And that's the one thing coaches till this day still resist and fight. And I know she's had the level of success she has because, one, she's coachable and she does it anyways. But having that list is so important because you actually have an inventory of who you're going to talk to. She knows who she wants to talk to. She's very intentional with who she's going to speak to because she actually built out a list of people that she wants to approach, people she wants to share this with. So thank you, Tamar, and appreciate you for sharing those tips with us. Okay, cool. Next, we're going to bring on another guy that is he's also crushing it when it comes to client acquisition. This guy consistently brings on 9, 10 to sometimes 12 clients every single month since he made a decision that he was going to go in and really start building his business and helping people. And I mean consistently. And so that's why I wanted to ask Al Brown to come on and kind of share with us. Al, how are you doing this? Give us your top 3 to 5 tips on what you do and why your clients love you so much, and how you're using social media to acquire these clients. Go ahead, Mr. Al. You have
Cool.
to.
Yeah, we got it. All right. Thanks, James. My name is Al for the ones that are just now seeing me, hearing me talk. But like James said, just being consistent with, I'll say, posting on social media. At first I really had a hard time with it, but I had to get out my comfort zone on posting more. I really don't like to post like that. So then I was like, if I really wanted to, take this to the next level, I still had to do, the 3x3. So I was like, man, just post whatever, it could be anything, I like motivational quotes. So it started with like motivational quotes, stuff like that. I was posting a lot of that. And then people started commenting on my stories on it, saying, they liked it, or, facts, which is, like a true statement, stuff like that. So then I'm like, okay. And then once they comment on it, then I'll go straight, ask them about, how's your day, how's it going? And then we'll start chopping it up, start talking. And then somehow, some way, it just comes straight to the health assessment. I'm like, okay, you're trying to get healthy, stuff like that. And then they're like, yes, can we set up a call, this and that. So that's how it kind of started off. And then I started getting more creative with it. And I started sharing, text messages. I'll ask my clients, on our check-in date on Monday, check-in day. I ask them how they're doing. They tell me everything. And then I'll screenshot it. I'm like, man, this is amazing. In my head, I'm like, I get probably 200 to 250 views on my story. So I'm like, this could touch somebody else. If it's touching me, for sure, it's going to touch somebody else on my, that's seeing my story. So I asked them, I'm like, man, this is very, motivational, very amazing. Can I take a screenshot of this and post this and tag you on, my story? And they'll be like, yes. I'm like, okay, cool. Post it. And I get tons of DMs on, like, is this really real? Like, are they losing 16 pounds in one week? Like, like, is this for real? I'm like, yes, this is for real. Like, this is really like a text message, somebody from this day, you know, and it just goes on from there. I'm like, okay, you know what? So sign me up. I want to try it. Literally, it's like that. It's like, okay, you know what? I'm in. So just doing that, getting out my comfort zone, and just being there for my clients, you know, checking in with them, asking them how they're doing, you know, if they had a few hard weeks of, you know, slipping up, and you know that they're slipping up, checking with them a little bit more, giving them a little bit of motivation, and then you just and you doing that, you'll find that they're giving you referrals without you even knowing. Like, I'll wake up and I'm in a group message with one of my clients, and they require, like, they're like, hey Al, these are my two cousins. They want to get back on the program. I mean, not get back on the program. They want to try to do the program. And this is from me waking up. I'm fresh out. I got eye boogers in my eyes. I have to brush my teeth or anything like that. So I'm like, man, okay. So I have to just get up and get straight to work. But doing that and just being there for your clients, and it's just it's way more than you just being a health coach and then, you know, you saying, you know, read the books, eat the food. It's way more than that. If you're, you know, fun loving and caring, it goes, you know, it goes a long way. And doing celebration calls, I was nervous with that at first, but then James was like, get them on celebration calls, get them on celebration calls. I'm like, okay. I'm like, you know what, F it. I'm like, you know what, F it, celebration calls, set them up. And as soon as I got back from Cabo, I was setting up celebration calls, you know, rapidly. And it wasn't as bad as I thought it was, because I was afraid that if I say, you know, hey, you want to do a celebration call, they'll be like, no. But surprisingly, everybody said yes, that I asked to do a celebration call. So that was pretty cool. That's very important. Keep them in line, you know. You don't know what people are going on in their life. So a celebration call could really cheer, you know, somebody up. You don't know, you can make somebody's day. So that's how I go about, you know, being a coach. You know, if I think of something that's motivational or something like that to cheer somebody up and that it works for me, I might just send out a text to all my clients and, you know, keeping them going, because you never know how somebody's day is going or what they're going through a whole month or anything like that. So just be there and being a fun, caring, loving person. That's pretty much what I get from my clients. And so somewhat of a cool coach, I guess. But yeah, that's my time.
Yeah, wouldn't you agree? He is somewhat of a cool coach, huh? No, you're a cool guy, man. Al's a really, really cool guy. And what I love about what Al said, if you guys caught it, again, this is someone who's doing the work. You know, he's doing the work, and he's consistently, you know, hope you guys are taking notes, because again, he's consistently bringing in, you know, 10 plus clients every single month. And he just showed us exactly what he's doing. But some of the things that I caught Al was using stories. Al is probably one of the best that I've seen at using stories. Success leaves clues. You want to be successful, just do what successful people do. And I know stories for a lot of us might be kind of new or challenging, but now, especially with social media, one of the best ways to connect and reach a lot of people now are watching stories. People are looking at stories more than they're scrolling nowadays. Instead of scrolling, they're actually just scrolling through the stories. And so because of that, Al, if you look at Al, every single day, Al may have 10, 15 different stories. And when he said he'll ask his clients and he'll post a text message of them saying, down 5, 10 pounds, and he'll post that. And because of that, people are noticing, people are asking. But he's also posting some things he didn't share is, you know, before and afters in those stories. Like he did mention the motivational. So he really, really is good at utilizing those stories And then referrals. Al is probably one of the best that I know at referrals. He's really, really good at when his clients, and I know because I've talked to him, when his clients get started, if he has a client that gets started, he expects they are a walking billboard and they have some type of progress. He's expecting people to notice and ask. So he's setting them up, his clients, and say, hey, when they ask, just connect them with me. And this is why he said he'll wake up and have, his clients will connect him in a three-way text message, but that's because he's trained his clients ahead of time and said, hey, if you have anyone that noticed, anyone that asked, connect me with them in a three-way text. So now that client has already validated Al, he can get on the phone with them. They don't need to be convinced because they already have the social proof from the person that referred him. And this is why he's so good at what he does. So Tamara and Al, thank you both. You guys, let's give a round of applause for both of them for dropping those nuggets and those bombs and helping us when it comes to client acquisition and coach acquisition. So I'll just kind of wrap up with the next 4 minutes and kind of give you guys maybe we'll say some action steps when it comes to social media and posting. This is a tool that I like to use. There's two different ones. And if you're on a call yesterday, they talked about a 10-8-6-10-8-6-4-2. But one that I like to use is for really new coaches, we focus on what's called the 3x3x3. You guys probably heard that, where you're going to post at least 3 times on Facebook. This is where you want to start branding yourself on Facebook. And some of the things you want to post when it comes to Facebook is definitely before and after pictures. If you are a health coach and you help people get healthy, and if I go to your Facebook page right now and I scroll and I look and if I look on your Facebook page and I don't see a couple of transformations of before and after, how am I going to know that what you do and that you can help me get healthy or lose weight? I'm not. If I don't go to your page right now, and if I'm a new person and I go to your page and I don't see somewhere in your job description that you're a health coach, a transformation coach, or a little bit about what you do, how am I going to know to connect and reach out to you and ask you for help? So this is one of the things we want to do is in your job description, you want to put, you are a health coach. You are a transformational coach in that job description. In your bio, let people know what you do in your bio. So we'll go back to those posts, the 3x3x3. Write this down, guys. 3x3x3. So the first 3 is we want to post at least 3 times on Facebook or Instagram, post at least 3 times on social media. When you post on social media, what do you post? Well, we just talked about one of those posts, and I like to do it first thing. Well, when I'm in client acquisition mode and I'm focusing on bringing on clients, one of those things I'm going to post is going to be a transformation or health related. It can be a progress picture of me. Take a selfie of yourself and post it and say, oh my goodness, I can't believe this morning I jumped on the scale and I'm down another 2 pounds. Is a perfect thing that's health related. Post and talk about your clients. If you have a client like Al does very, very well, if you have a client that's doing amazing on program, post about it, talk about it. If you or one of your clients have a belt, you're down a belt loop, snap a picture of you holding up that belt and that you're down another belt loop and post that. These are health related posts. These are visuals that's going to show people what you do. So first post you want to do is something health related, or before and after. It can be yours, it can be a client, or it can be another coach or a client, as long as it has the disclaimer on it. And it's, of course, it was with Optavia. You want to post and share that. And when you're posting these before and afters, you want to post a variety. Post a variety. I post, people that's lost 150 pounds. I post 5 to 10 pounds. I post men. I post women, Asians, Hispanics, Blacks, because you want to show a variety, a different variety of things. Another thing you want to post is, Al talked about motivational quotes. People love to be inspired. They love to be motivated. Put up motivational quotes. Where do you find them? Google motivational quotes and find one that touches your heart, one that you like, post it. And don't just post a motivational quote, but post why you're posting it. You know, why do you like that motivational quote? Why is that inspirational to you? People love to be motivated. When people come to your page, we want them to be inspired and motivated. Motivational quotes is a great thing to post. Other things that you can post is non-health related, is anything about you that's going on in your life, vacations that you've been on, vacations that you want to go on, books that you're reading. If you're reading the life book, take a picture of a paragraph and post it. Just snap a picture of it and post it on your page and talk about why you posted that element or that paragraph in the life book. Now we're providing value and we're giving and we're helping and we're teaching people. These are things that you can post on there. Post pictures of your kids. Oh my goodness, people love kids. Why do you guys think I post so much of Luna James, my baby? Because it's a great way to share and start opening up conversations. If you have pets, oh my goodness, post your dogs, post your cats, post your lizards, post that stuff. People love, love, love animals. Talk about it. Anything that's going on in your life, we just want to live out loud. Live your life, live your journey out loud. If you're on a walk, whatever's going on in your life, share about it and talk about it. I won't go over the other three, but when it comes to social media and Facebook, those are some great things we want to post. Some things we want to stay away from is politics. Want to stay away from politics and anything controversial. Again, when we're posting on social media, we want people to be inspired. We want to stay away from anything that's going to get people, that's going to be anything controversial where they're going to, you know, start arguments or fights on your page. This is not the place. This is a business where we want to inspire and bring light and hope to people. So we want our page to be just that, a place where people are motivated and inspired. So we want to stay away from anything like, you know, anything controversial like that. And then stories. I'll wrap up with stories. Just play with it, guys. You will probably mess up on your first story. It's okay. It's no big deal. After 24 hours, those things disappear anyways. They won't even be there. It's not like a post where it lasts forever. Play with it. You might mess up the first couple of ones, but play with those stories. Get in there and post stories. I love stories because you can do videos. You can post pictures, your fuelings, your lean and greens, anything you can post on your stories. So if you're not already, start utilizing stories. And what's cool about stories is that you can do as many as you want. Go crazy on the stories. Do 10, 15 of them. It's okay. It's a little bit different than posting. Posting, we don't want to post 50 times because it's kind of annoying and you might get blocked. But stories, you can do as many as you want. Make it fun, make it interesting. Throw some music on those things. Throw some cool emojis and font and text. And again, if you don't know how to use it, play with it. And if you are still having trouble with it, reach out to your coach and they'll be able to guide you and support you on how to better utilize stories. Or just call Al. He's one of the best at it. He can help you. All right, guys. Thanks again all for being on. It's so good seeing everybody. Hope you guys got some value and some tips on how to use social media, which I believe is the most powerful tool we have to reach a lot of people, inspire a lot of people, and to build our business, to acquire more clients and coaches. You guys all have a great night, and we'll see you guys all next week. Bye-bye.